Hello guys, how are you? Sanbonani, Absheni, Dumelang, Molweni. Hello my beautiful people. I am doing my retie. It's 5 weeks now. I have to do my retie. I'm going to do the whole head. So it's going to be a long day, maybe one day or two. But I'm not planning to go anywhere. And when I do my reties, it's all about just making sure that my hair is taken care of. And I prefer to do my own reties on my sister locks because one, it's expensive, and I don't think there's anyone qualified to do the retie. And I'm also very skeptical. Let me just be honest. Anyways, while I'm sitting here, I thought that I should do the story time on my journey. But before that, I just want to say, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Zozo, and I am 48. I live in Denmark. Denmark has been my home for more than 25 years. I am sharing a journey from Soweto to Denmark, and I also do share fashion inspiration on what I'm wearing because I do love fashion, and being Sowetan means that sithanda iy'mpahla, sithanda ukugqoka, angithi sithanda ukugqoka, uyazi kwamele ube muhle. So I do share that as well in some of my videos. But today I thought that I should continue sharing the last two videos I shared about my journey in Soweto, how Soweto has shaped me into who I am, White City, to be more specific, and how it has shaped me to be the person that I am today, and how I move, how I speak, how I am resilient when life throws jabs at you, but also my resilience in terms of spirit, my joy for life, zest for impilo, and curiosity and openness. I think I owe it to South Africa, I owe it to Soweto, to White City. So today I'm just going to share about, and then the second video I shared from Soweto to Denmark, I shared about the people that have been instrumental in my life, in me end up being here, and how it all went through. And I've mentioned that Jake Mbuisola Simila, the late Jake Mbuisola Simila, has been a very huge instrumental person in my life, mentor, father figure, educator, you name it. And Sisnom Samanaka, and moving into dance, Mupatong Watava has also played a huge part in my life. My teachers at school, high school, Sam Mulubi, Khotso Mulubi, I'm still in touch with him today. He's one of those people that I look up to, even at the age of 48. So, and today, on today's video, while I am retying my sister locks, I am going to share about 1999. That is the time, pre-1999, but also 1999. That is when things are happening. So just before 1999, I finished high school, and I failed my matric the first time. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have a direction, so I didn't spend a lot of energy and time on studying. So I wasn't surprised, you know what I mean? But I needed the matric certificate because you need that to get a job. And then I went back and took my matric again, and then I passed with the school leaving, and I was actually fine because I knew I wanted to be an artist. I was a dancer, and my mom was a musician. She wanted to be a professional musician, but at that time, with apartheid and everything happening, you were encouraged to go and work and make money, and being an artist was not a thing that was encouraged. So, but she understood and supported my journey, and my aunt as well. My mom was involved in my dance life. So when things started happening, it didn't come as a surprise to her. And the same with my aunt, who came to my dance shows. When I told them I was going to Denmark, when I could finally say I am going overseas, they were not surprised, but they were happy. So, but now I'm like, like fast forwarding, but to go back in 1990, I failed my matric, took another year, and then finished. And then when I finished, Jake, he said to me, you need to go and audition at moving into dance. And I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't have a plan, so I didn't even ask like why. It was the most natural thing because I've been dancing every day or throughout that time. It's like, yeah, sure. And it was a 1 year course, tertiary course, a scholarship, and I was awarded that. I got in the auditions, and Nabombali, Ntwanas, we got in and we studied. And while I was in the middle of the studying, I remember Jackie would teach there. He would come and teach Afro contemporary dance classes, and then he said to me, "You need to make sure that you get good results, you know." And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I didn't have anything to do, but this was the thing that I was enjoying. So I had planned to do well, and I loved my time in moving into dance. That year went so fast. Nabo Sandile Twala, my bestie. Yeah, and I did that. And just before the end of the year, Jackie came to me and said, you might be going overseas. I was like, ngazodlala ngami kuJake. Jake, udlala ngami. I said, no, for real. And then he has been, arranging everything, talking to the people that are responsible for the exchange program, Shuttle 99 in Denmark, and like confirming everything. So when he finally said to me, we need to go and have your passport made, I was like, ah, serious? Serious, yes. And then we did the passport, and that was in place. I still did not believe it. And he said, don't tell anyone. And I told my mom, I was like, ungatshela abantu, ungatshela abantu ngize sengiye airport. Tshela abantu masobuya airport kuthi uzozo sekahambile. And we kept it quiet for a long time. And then when Jackie said to me, we need to go to the Danish consulate in Pretoria and have your passport and your visa. I was like, yo, ha. I didn't know that much about traveling, but I knew makufuneki visa. It means Gucci. Things are happening. So by the time 1999 February came, I had Googled, no, it was before Google. I had my uncle who had encyclopedias. He worked at a bank. And I checked Denmark, and I learned it was a small country with bicycles. It was cold. But as mawuphuma eJoburg, mabathi kuyabanda. Asikhulumi ukuthi how many degrees and all that. Uvela uthi kuyabanda kuyashisa. So I just assumed, it's like here, it gets cold. I'll be fine with like a winter jacket. Though ngifike eDenmark, no one prepared me. Abazange bangitshela ukuthi kuyanyiwa. Bathi kubanda kukhipha no akushisa. Bathi bakushisa ikhipha umkhove etsheni. Kubanda, angazi what is the expression for kubanda, like that type of cold. So when it finally happened, ukuthi manje ngeDenmark, I remember telling my mom, ukuthi manje it's time. Ngawuthenga ama-suitcase, ngapreparisha phela. The day when I left, my mom was at the airport. I don't think she believed ukuthi ngiyahamba. Her baby, I was like 20. I left, and it was a 4 months exchange program, and I came to Denmark. It was a culture shock on so many levels. Ubanda, abantu. I've never seen so many white people in one space. It was gray. But I was like, with wonder, because it was exciting. Also, it was a different country. I was overseas. Hello. So as much as it was new and everything, I was still like, and I was not alone. I came with Mandla Hlajwayo, and his brother Colin was also my mentor. And we were here for 4 months. And while we were here, I remember around April, Easter, we were supposed to be here until February, until June, and it was still cold. June, that's where it's warm. So we were just going to experience a little bit of summer before we were heading back home after the exchange program was finished. I remember just feeling so homesick. My teacher, he was such a good person, David Steele. He's from England. He bought some tickets for us to go and visit London. So while we were in Denmark, we managed to go and visit London. Listen, we went to London, and I came back. I came home sick, and then said to me, do you want to call your mom and say hello? And I think my mom missed me, because that time there was no Skype, there was no WhatsApp, there wasn't anything. You called directly, and you just managed to say hello, Unjani Mkhona, because it was expensive. And he said, no, you can call her. And I called my mom at the school office, and I told her, good, I miss home, but it was good. And I think my mom was trying to be strong for me. If she could cry, She could. And now being a mother, I understand what it means to be stronger for your kids so that they can be strong and, and persevere. And I remember my mom, African moms are just so kind. And I remember my mom saying, before I hang up, can I talk to the principal, my teacher? And said, oh, Mr. Davis, still, I'm so grateful for you giving my daughter this chance. I'm so happy. And then the principal also said the same thing about me. Like, she's an amazing student. She is curious. She works hard. Yeah. And then that conversation led to my principal asking me, would you like to come back and study, take the next 2 years? Because we're doing our second year. And I was like, yeah. There was no hesitation. Like, yeah, of course. As hard as it was, and everything, like I knew this opportunity was never going to be offered again. I was like, yeah. And then he said, okay, the school will take care of everything, but you just need to, get help to apply for funding to cover for your living expenses for the next 2 years. Oh, I went to Lena and Karen. Those are the people that were my guardians here, who were also part of the, from Denmark, who are now mother figures for me. I told Lena, she was the consultant for this exchange program, and she said, then we need to apply for Imali. And I was like, yeah, so how do we do that? So by the time I went home in June, after the exchange program ended, the Minister of Arts and Culture came here as part of the Shuttle 99. She wanted to see how the exchange had been going on, because it was an exchange program between artists in the Nordic countries, Denmark, Norway, and Iceland and Sweden, going to South Africa, in different parts of South Africa, and South African artists coming to Denmark. So it was a huge thing. And then she came to my school and she saw the letters, she saw pictures of us, and she heard people talking about my student mates talking about how amazing it was to have us here. It was a cultural exchange for them as well. And we were the only black people, the first black students, and before anyone else came. So it was also a cultural exchange for them and a culture shock. But it was so amazing. And the Minister of Arts and Culture, I think it was Dorit Masuga, said, then we need to do something to bring it back. And then she spoke to Lena, and then Lena said, we need 60,000 for 2 years to cover expenses. When I came home on that June, I went to the National Arts Council. I just needed to sign papers because Lena had applied for everything, and I was granted the money to come back. I think it was 2 months after that, to continue studying. And everything happened so fast. But when I came home on that year in June, my mom has been sick. She had meningitis. So when I came home, she was at the hospital. I picked up weight because I came back to her being sick, and my life was just turned upside down. And I think I remember spending those 2 months while I was there, before I had to go back, to going to the hospital and making sure that she was well. And my aunts were there with me all the way. And things just didn't get better with my mom's health. So when I came back in 2000, in October, I came back in, I think, 99, late 99. And then 2000, after a year of being here, and my mom's health, getting better, but not really to the same way she was, my mom passed away. And that was just, yeah, my world fell apart, and I was far away. And I had managed to talk to her 2 days before my birthday, and she said to me, I'll call you on your birthday. My birthday is on the 8th of October. I'll call you on your birthday to wish you a happy birthday. And I was like, yeah. And yeah, she passed away. And I remember my teacher, Mr. Mulubi, because he was the only person that they could contact who knew how to talk to people who were overseas, or how to call. And they asked my mamkhulu wami, wacela ukuthi afonele esikolweni and tell me that I needed to come home. And then I remember calling mamkhulu wami mbuza ukuthi yini. I was going to Sweden with my school. And I was like, mamkhulu yini. I just knew that something was different. And mamkhulu wami said, mntanam, woza ekhaya. I was like, mamkhulu, kwenzakalani ngitshela. Athi mntanam, woza ekhaya. started crying like ngitshele kwenzakalani uphi umama ngifuna ukukhuluma nomama wathi umama akasekho yo yeah my mom had passed away. So with everything that was happening in my life that was just beautiful, the universe aligning with me, my mom passed away. So, and the sad part is that she only managed to experience me flying to Denmark, and knowing that I was going there, but she never really got the chance to experience the growth and the progress, and also get to enjoy the fruits of her labor, because she was a single mom, and I think she did an amazing job in raising two girls at that time and making sure that we finished school. She never finished school, and supported me in my a desire to be an artist, and not worked against that, and for her to see the payoff. So it's just sometimes to say that as parents we need to support our kids in whatever that they are talented in, as much as we want them to find a job that will study something that will secure them a future. But if children have talent, it's very important that we support them. And I am grateful for my mom for being the first supporter, and my aunt who came to my performances, and she understood what it meant to be me, and she came to my graduation when I graduated, moving into dance. She's been my number one supporter as well. And the people that have played a part in my journey and helped me hone the skills and put me into the right places with the right people. Jakey, Mbuyisela Simila, Colin Hlajwayo, Nomsa Manaka, moving into dance. Yeah, I am forever grateful, and this is over 25 years later that I'm able to reflect on my journey and how we easily take things for granted, like things just happen in J. But you forget to go to, there's been a lot of work and sacrifices, there's been a lot of losses, there's been a lot of people, there's been a lot of things aligning for things to happen the way they did. And also personally, there's been a lot of hard work and sacrifices for me to be here. So this is just to say that if you are in a space where you are good at something and you don't have people that are supporting you, maybe you're not in the right environment, find those people that are, be in an environment where people can encourage you and unga give up. And who knew that I would end up here? And I'm not glamorizing, living abroad, and my dream was to go back home and contribute to the community, but life had other plans, and I feel like I've been doing my contribution in a different way than I had planned. I can share that on another day, but I think also sharing my journey is also a way of telling whoever that's listening that it is possible wherever you are. Your circumstances do not define your future, and it's okay to dream. It's okay to dream of a world than the one that you're in. And I remember dreaming was the thing that I did. Manifesting, as they call it today, but for me there was dreaming, imagining that I was in a different space with different people, with a different atmosphere, with different possibilities. I just wanted to fly overseas. When I saw those Americans, I just wanted to be where they were from. I didn't care how it was. I just wanted something that was bigger than this little white city. And I knew I would be mad at myself if I didn't. But I didn't know how I was going to get out of there. But dance was the thing that got me out of there. So support your kids if they're into arts, and show up to their performances and remind them that this is important, and you never know. You never know. So I will continue with my sister locks, and I will continue on my storytelling. The sun now has just disappeared. So yeah, on day 2, my sister locks and makeup. How's today? How are you doing? And I hope you're good wherever you are. I finished retightening my locks yesterday. Actually, it was the fastest retie. Usually takes me 2 days, but I managed to do it within a day. I started yesterday and I finished yesterday, but I spent the whole day in the house, and then I went for a walk, and then I came back and I finished. My arms are sore, so now I'm just going to spray some water. This is just plain water, not from the tap but bought, because the water is very harsh in Denmark, so it creates like a buildup, so my scalp gets dry. So I usually just buy water and then put it in a, and this is for hydration. And if you're wondering, I've had my sister locks for 4 years now, and I retighten them every 5th and sometimes 4th week. And this is a rosemary blend of some sort, spray that I use for my scalp. And I also I love the smell of rosemary on my locks. So I don't use anything other than just water and plain shampoo, no perfume in the shampoo. I put on some sunscreen earlier on. So yeah, I just don't use anything other than just plain shampoo and then conditioner on my ends, and then the water for hydration and rosemary from my scalp. So just trying to put them away from my face. These days, instead of wearing them in a bun, because it stresses the locks and makes them thin, I just do like a little knot, at the end, the back, and then I just pull the rest of the hair up. So it's slightly loose. I just tuck my hair in that little knot. I don't know if you can see. And this helps me to keep them away from my face and my neck, so they don't get stuck in my... When I'm carrying a bag, I notice that my locks get stuck and then they start thinning and breaking. So this is how I do it. A very light, easy hairstyle. I don't know if you can see. So now that my hair is out of my face, especially in the heat, it's nice to... I feel like you're not seeing this beauty, simplicity in these locks, the way I've just, tucked them away. So this is how I do it, instead of using elastics and pulling them away. Now I'm going to go into my makeup. I just bought the Eurocin 50% sunscreen. And I learned something new, that you have to reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours if you're in the sun, especially as a black person in the European sun, because our skin somehow gets very sensitive to this sun, because the sun in Europe is different from the African sun. So I've developed some sunspots damage because I don't think I have been as diligent in wearing my sunscreen. So now at the age of 48, I'm not trying to reverse the damages, but I'm trying to prevent further damages on my skin. And I'm also using a Eurocin cream at night to help minimize the pigmentation. But I'm not looking for a perfect non-pigmented skin, but it's just to make sure that it doesn't get worse. But it also requires that I am very, very diligent on the use of sunscreen, especially when I'm out around my eyes. And I love that it doesn't leave a cast. I also use another brand, a Danish brand called Woods, that I've shared here. I love sunscreens that don't leave me looking dry and ashy and white. So that's what I do. Don't forget the neck and the chest. So that is the base. And today I don't want to do anything crazy. The gray hairs are popping in front. I don't know if you can see. They're just having a moment. My gray hairs are having a moment. I've already put something on my lips, so I'm just going to leave them like that. And I'm just using a little tinted moisturizer. It's almost running out. So it's my foundation, Star Filter by Dior, that I mixed it up with a bit of sunscreen to make it a bit lighter for on the days where I'm feeling like something light. I don't want a full coverage. And right, just to get a little bit of glow. I don't know if you can see the difference already. Not too much, just a tiny bit, where I'm still feeling put together. I'm going out to the city today. I'm all alone. My daughter is out in the sun with her friends. It's summer holidays in Denmark, so it's all about, when the weather is nice, it's all about just getting out and getting in the sun. So I don't know why I'm putting this on my ears. Right? And then today I feel like my blue mascara, which is my favorite mascara to date. I absolutely just I feel like I overuse the word absolutely, but I love it. I love it. It just adds an unexpected twist on like what could look like a basic makeup, right? Today it's like one of those moments. I'm not putting any eyeshadow or anything. When I don't want to put a blush, this is like, it gives me that pop of color. Like, it's Clarins. This is my second one. I don't know how long can a mascara hold before it gets clumpy, and how long, guys? Listen, I feel like whoever that says we like natural women, this is also natural, okay? This is also natural. It's the illusion of natural. So when men say, I like a natural woman, this is also natural. I refuse not to wear makeup because someone says they like a natural woman. This is also natural. So this is my favorite mascara when I just need, by Clarins. And it's called, I forgot what it's called. It's number 2, something blue. I think it's called number 2. Go get this one. On days where I feel like, I don't need any fun, I just use this one. I love it just for like a normal. Other than that, I also use my Essence, but this one is old, so I need to get rid of it for bigger, voluminous lashes. And then my current favorite is Maybelline Super Click or Super Lick. Super Lick for brows. Whatever brows that I have left after over plucking in the 90s because it was a trend. And now the fuller brows are back. I'm like, I have to make use of what I have left. So again, when you reach this age, it's about taking care of what you have left. If you've been abusive and destructive, then you have to work with whatever that's left after that. And if you've been experimental and following trends, that is also the case in my case with the brows. Um, but I noticed that actually the brow implants are a thing, and I just kept dreaming of, if I have money, I think that would be the surgery procedure I would be willing to undergo. The pain of that, or whatever discomfort. I've actually been following some YouTube videos on stars that have done eyebrow lifts, and uh, the day when I get money, I think I will do that. I'm not a person who enjoys putting myself into pain voluntarily, but I think it's one of those things where I would do it. But I think it's around 50,000 Danish crowns just for the procedure. And the results are amazing. They somehow cut harvest some hair at the back of your head, and it leaves a scar, but they say you can't see it. And then they implant the hairs in a way that follows the line of so they'll grow out, but like downwards. I can't explain it. And Megan Good, an actress, she had done eyebrows implants, and it just changes your face. We need the brows. I don't know who came up with this thing of plucking your eyebrows in the 90s, but basenze kabi, man. Hey, 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 hey. I mean, I remember my friend Nomonde came, and she had her eyebrows tweezed, and I was like, you don't want to miss out. Who did them? And then it was one of the friends, Tidi, she was one of her friends who was a beautician who had just done. And it was the look. I was like, okay. And you can see I actually really had like thicker eyebrows. My son has like, not dense, but thicker, not. And then I started tweezing, and when I look at myself at the age of 21, I'm like, who is this woman? Why did my mom stop me? I keep telling my daughter now, who's 18, like, whatever eyebrows we have, keep them, because the older you become, the lesser they become, and then you just wish that you had taken care of those eyebrows, because our eyebrows are very important. They frame our face. So when you don't have any eyebrows, all of a sudden, that can also age you. If you've noticed, you see a matured woman who's got thicker hair and fuller eyebrows. They look youthful, just like a woman who's got chubby cheeks, and a matured woman, elderly woman who's got a chubby cheek. Somehow that's connected to youth. So all of a sudden you realize you need the eyebrows. So this is the best that I can do, and I actually think it's okay. And I forgot to tell you, I'm using this Fenty dark black to brown, which I have been enjoying. I think this is my third one. After trying Sephora's for almost 2 years, Sephora's brand, which was also dark and brown, but I like this one more. And then I finish off with this brow gel and create that effect again, that illusion of I have fuller eyebrows, right? That's how I like my eyebrows. I don't know if you can see. And then I just use my fingers just to put them in place. And believe me, where I come from, they say, believe me, you. Uguti. When I do this, they will stay there until ngizongeke ubuso. So this is it. And I'm wearing these earrings that I bought at a vintage shop. I used to have smaller ones, but I found these hoops, and I'm just like, I am into silver. Normally I would wear blush, but I will not do that today. Instead, I will stick to my lip balm, brown. I just love using my fingers. Hydrated lips. You look polished. Hydrate your skin and lips. You look polished even if you're wearing the most basic makeup. Today it's basic, right? But the illusion is basic, but it's not. And whoever that says that women should not use makeup, cela basiyeke yazo. Mabasiyeke, mabasiyeke, mabasiyeke. Keep it moving, kind of. So now I am ready
Get
to
out to the city. This is what I wore. I am wearing this beautiful pink ensemble. The shirt is from my brother's wardrobe, a Ralph Lauren polo shirt, pink. And the necklace is by Moni's, a Danish brand. My polar watch that I just worn. I'm wearing the pink trousers from Other Story, and I'm wearing Ann Taylor velvet slippers. I really felt this outfit. And on Saturday, day 2, I am wearing this Zara viscose shirt. It's just got a life of its own. And I'm wearing some money sandals, very old, and calfskin. It's almost falling off. And then I'm wearing a bucket hat from Boosts.